Should you pay your house off? Now, this is a question. First of all, if you're thinking about this, what a great question. What a great situation to be in. But the question is, what are the benefits of paying off your house? What are the negatives of paying off your house? Stick around and we're going to jump into it. Hey guys, this is RC Peck with Fearless Wealth, and we're going to talk about whether you should or shouldn't pay off your house. So I want to talk about the tax point of view, the investment point of view, the peace of mind point of view, these things that often get jumbled that you can't necessarily get answered in an article. And the reason is because it's such a personal question. Now, this question matters whether you just bought your house or you're looking to possibly pay it off, because what it's going to teach you is how to think. And that's the goal of all these videos, how to think better about your money. Okay, so I got all my notes right here. Let's get into this. So here's the first thing you're gonna hit, and this is true with anything. You're gonna have the spreadsheet answer and you're gonna have the emotional answer, right? So the spreadsheet is gonna tell you one thing, to pay the house off or to not pay it off. We don't know. And then you're gonna have the emotional answer of paying it off and not paying it off. They're both valid and you have to write both of them down. It is a very important part that you're always going to have the emotional pros and cons and the, let's call it the financial pros and cons. Now we can call it financial, we can call it spreadsheet. The point is, I'm asking you to do the pros and cons, both from the financial point of view and the emotional. No one teaches this. People mostly just teach the pros and cons, but it's actually the pros and cons of the financial point and the pros and cons of the emotional point. What you'll notice almost always is financials tend to have heavier pros. Emotions often have heavy pros. Like, it just is going to feel good. So you want to look at both of those, right? And just the point is that you're asking the right questions. So that's the first, is knowing that you're supposed to look at, and you want to look at both the financials and the emotions. So that's number one. Now, the second thing, and this may be a breakdown of number one, is if you pay the house off, what do you lose, right? We're still talking about the pros and cons, but I'm kind of digging into a little bit. Well, if you live in a country where you get a tax write-off on the interest, you're going to lose the tax write-off of the interest. But let's say you pay $9,000 a year in interest payments, and you only get $2,000 of benefit on your taxes. This is super important. What most people do is, no, I got to keep the interest payment. I got to pay it because the interest comes off and then I get it on my deductible and my taxes. I'm like, whoa, slow down. People don't actually know the numbers. Look at what you're paying in interest payments and what the tax benefit is on your taxes. Not that you just get lower taxes, but how much do you save? $2,000 a year on your taxes, but you're paying $8,000 or $9,000 in interest payments. Notice I'm not saying capital or return on the capital, but actually the interest payment. So you really want to understand what the actual numbers are. And one of those numbers is really understanding what you save on taxes, not that you just save on taxes if you live in a country like that. So you're going to want to look into the real numbers. The other thing is, what are you going to do with the money, right? So on one hand, let's say you spend, let's say you pay off your loan on your house and you owe $200,000. Okay. Or you could put it in, so that's $200,000, let's say it's 3%. 3.5% net of taxes, maybe it's 2.75%. Or you could put it in the stock market, a buy and hold situation by the S&P 500 through SPY or IVV. And let's say you're a buy and hold, so you don't have really any tax consequences for many, many years or multiple decades. Then you can start looking at grow the money in the stock market for 10%. Okay, yes, down the road you'll pay taxes, but it'll be long-term capital gains. Or do you save that 3.5%, maybe it's 3% net of taxes a year? So you want to kind of also look at what you're growing your money at, right? Because if you're 70 and you're growing your money at 3% in the markets, then that's not really a big competition to your mortgage rate at 3%. So kind of lean towards the sure thing of paying off your mortgage. But if you're doing 10 or 12 or 14% a year in the stock market, then that's a very different conversation. So you want to look at your actual numbers and say, if I didn't pay it off, what would I do with the money? Again, These videos are to help you think better, think about the better questions to be asking. Okay, and then let's talk about just one more thing. This is such a personal decision, right? You can do the pros and cons on the finances and the pros and cons on the emotional, and you can just finally just look at it and go, I just want my house paid off. I just want to know that that $1,900 a month payment or whatever it is gone. It makes you feel good. There's a lot of stability. You're very clear about financially or spreadsheet wise what you're getting or not getting, but it is a very individual feeling conversation. And so with that, what you want is someone who can really help you make sure you're asking the best questions for you. And if you're lucky enough, include your spouse, because he or she can be a great sounding board. But what I find even better is you want to include someone that has nothing to do with your marriage or your money, because oftentimes it's hard for couples to have conversations about money without getting in a fight. That's a whole other set of Ask RC videos. Anyway, guys, so there it is. Should you pay off your house or not? Go through it again. It's all about the questions, the pros and cons, and really what you want most with your life. Thanks, guys, for being in my world. I appreciate you. If you like the video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Those things make a difference. Leave a comment. Like, what did I miss? What do you think I missed? What did I get right? I love getting comments, and I will reply to them. Thanks, guys, for being in my world, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Okay, bye.